I heard you're from Venezuela.
Yes, I'm come from Venezuela.
And you don't agree with any of these people here, right?
No, I'm not agree. I'm agree with Trump because Trump helped to my country obtain the libertad.
Can I ask you? There's a bunch of Americans here who have never
lived in a communist and socialist country with
never lived in one.
a socialist government.
So
If they did, they wouldn't be supporting it.
Americans are protesting here against the arrest of Maduro. They've never been to Venezuela before in their life, and you have, but they stand against the Venezuelan people. How do you feel about that?
I feel happy. We're happy.
Today for me is
She's happy. The View host Anna Navarra praises President Trump. Oh wow, look at that. Well, I'm actually surprised by that because she's 100% woke. She's 100% left, but she realizes that this is a good thing for Venezuela as well as the United States. So I'm actually kind of shocked that she is giving President Trump praise and credit for this, according to this right up here, especially coming from The View. You know, she may get fired for actually giving Trump credit where credit is due from The View. Wouldn't be surprised at all if they let her go because they're obviously anti-Trump. But she is from The View, and yeah, this is a W. This is a win for America and for Venezuelans. As you just saw, that girl was happy and she's happy, so everybody should be happy unless you're like
because
a Democrat, right? Then you're not happy because you like communism. And most of the people who support communists and communism actually never been to a country where they have communism and are communist, and they think somehow communist countries have more freedom than we do. Yeah. If these people actually lived in a communist state for like 1 year, they would eat their words and be like, yeah, I was wrong. Communism is a bad thing. And you just go to North Korea. North Korea is a communist dictatorship state. Look how terrible their country is. You can barely do anything without getting in trouble. That's why we're so lucky to be Americans and to be an American where we actually do have freedoms that we have. For those people who hate America, I would just tell you, just leave the country. Well, I can't because of finances trouble. Blah. Yeah, you're just making excuses. Just go. Go somewhere where there's communism, and you'll be wanting to come back to America fast, no matter where you go. And yeah. Oh, I can't move. I don't have the funds. Sell your house. Sell everything you have. Start a new life. You can actually. That's just an excuse. If you hate America that much, then leave. Just America don't need you, right? We don't want you here if you hate America. Just leave. That's all you have to do. Then you'll be coming back because America is the best country in the world. And if you don't believe me, go out and leave, and you'll be wanting to come back. That's the fastest way I can prove to you that America is the best country in the world for those people who think America is not, because America absolutely is. But I'm kind of surprised she's still giving Trump credit here. But let's just see what she has to say. I can't believe I said that before because I don't really like this woman too much. She's always been... If you ever watch The View, by the way, I don't know what you're doing watching The View. The View is a big, huge waste of time. All they do is complain. It's just a bunch of old women sitting there yelling at each other, basically, and most of the time agreeing with each other about stupid stuff. And I feel like you'll lose. I feel like people who watch The View, have lost some brain cells because of The View. All it does is make you dumber. So, The View is just a bad show, really. I don't watch The View at all. But I am surprised that she's giving Trump credit where credit is due, because Trump did a fantastic good thing. But let's just hear what she has to say about it. I'm not quite sure.
Maduro is out. He is a son of a bitch. I hope this sends a message to the other sons of bitches in the region. You may disagree with the way Trump did it, but it's done. There was no way that it was going to end any other way, because once he started bombing boats, and we've bombed boats and alleged drug boats and killed over.
No, not alleged drug boats. They were drug boats. How do we know that they were carrying drugs? Well, obviously, it's pretty self-sustained that we knew that they were carrying boats. I mean, we're talking about a country with intelligence who went over to another country and took the president of that country. So you don't think our intel would absolutely know what was on those boats? Obviously, it was drugs. Anybody who says, well, how do you know it's drugs? Seriously, that's a stupid question, because it's an easy answer, but it's still a stupid question. How would we not know is the real question, that it was drugs on those boats. It was 100% drugs. And, yeah, obviously, if we can pull something off this, you don't think we'll know who's on a boat and what's on the boat? I mean, come on. So just put 2 and 2 together, which makes 5. Yeah, so she's giving Trump praise here, yeah.
115 people. I think Trump...
Not alleged, by the way.
Getting rid of Maduro was going to be easy, and Maduro was going to scare easily. He didn't. It took him doing this. So yeah, he did it without congressional authorization. This was
he don't need authorization to do this. He really doesn't. President has. This is why when people say this, like, "Well, he didn't have Congress approval," it makes me think, like, you don't even know what's in the Constitution. And Trump did have the legal authority to do this. And we're not at war with Venezuela. I keep hearing that, and it's just crazy to hear. But, yeah, see, she's giving Trump credit, but she's also, like, walking that balance beam of giving him credit and then also trying to make him look bad. He didn't need Congress approval to do any of this that he did. There are certain presidential powers, and if anybody knows the Constitution, like really knows, he was definitely within those limits. He didn't declare war on Venezuela. The president of the United States of America has certain powers that he can do, and this was one of them, well within the Constitution. So when she says that, I kind of get a little bit annoyed, but nonetheless, let's hear her out, I guess.
Act of war, all of these things, but it's now done. I think it doesn't escalate from here.
No, it doesn't escalate from here. Venezuela is not going to do anything at all about this. The Venezuelan people, first off, they're not going to do anything because they're happy, right? But I'm talking about, like, the government who still is in Venezuela right now, especially that new female president. They're not going to do anything because they don't want to mess with the United States. They just don't want to take it there, guys. I don't think this is going to lead to no war between Venezuela. And even if it did, we would absolutely destroy Venezuela. But I don't want it to come to war either. Listen, I hate war because it means lives will get lost, including American lives, right? So war is the last thing we need and we should want. Obviously, unless it's like self-defense, then we have to do what we got to do. But Venezuela don't want war with America, especially when Trump is in office, right? They know better than that. They only got like 30 attack helicopters I've seen somewhere, and we got like thousands of attack helicopters. Not even comparison. There's no comparison between the Venezuelan government army and the United States Army. There's no comparison. We would just overwhelm them. The only way they would have a chance is if China and Russia would come to their aid, right? That's the only way they would even have a chance. Kind of like what we're seeing, honestly, between Russia and Ukraine right now. Ukraine wouldn't even have a chance if it wasn't for other countries helping them. If it was just a war between Ukraine and Russia, we all know that Russia would probably dominate Ukraine, but Ukraine is staying in the fight only because other countries are helping them. That's why the war is lasting as long as it is right now, because Ukraine has help.
Because the objective of this was to get Maduro out. So
Yeah, and the objective was completed.
today for me is a good day because Maduro.
I think she is from Venezuela as well, so she should understand. She probably got friends in Venezuela. I mean, she seems like she's happy this happened, but I don't know why you still got to try to keep that balance of giving Trump credit and also trying to make him look bad at the same time.
Is out, and certainly there's an oil component. Certainly there's a lot of.
It is the oil, and I think the oil, like I've already said before, guys, I think the oil is definitely just a compensation prize, right? I mean, Venezuela does have a lot of oil, but, and Trump talked about the oil a lot, so I think capturing him, trying to get the oil, I don't think that was the main part of it. I think capturing him was the number one thing, and then the oil is kind of like a complimentary prize or something like that. But yeah,
Trump ego in this about being able to do it, but it's done, and I for one I am very happy.
well, you should be happy.
Boy. So,
Let's see what the View has to say. We know the View is going to be talking about this. I'm going to fast forward ahead a little bit. Here's Trump on the airplane that he was talking to. Black conservative, man.
I'm just saying,
I like
it's
his
kinda-
channel. Hopefully he don't get me copyrighted here. But yeah, Trump was letting them know. Here, let me rewind it back a little bit. All right, right there.
let's go ahead and
Yeah,
get into this.
Let's get into
Don't
this.
ask me who's in charge because I'll give you an answer and it'll be very controversial.
What does that mean?
Yeah, it'll be very controversial for who's in charge of Venezuela right now. Right now, she thinks she's in charge, but we all know Trump is in charge.
Yes, we're in charge. Well, let
Yeah,
me.
see? We're in charge. Listen,
Very sick too. Run by a sick man.
So there will be an operation by the U.S. and
It sounds good to me. We need Greenland for this.
Trump is really set on Greenland for national security purposes. He really wants Greenland.
Standpoint of national security.
National security. I think we should have it if it's for national security concerns. Although I don't really know how many people. I would say not very many people live in Greenland. Like, I barely hear about Greenland at all. Like, I mean, just throughout the news and just through people talking. I never heard anybody really bring up a conversation about Greenland. I don't know. It's just like Alaska to me, a bunch of snow. Like, you can't build civilizations up there. I mean, I guess you could because, like, look in Alaska, right? But other than national security concerns, I don't know.
Ready to fall. I don't know if they're going to hold out.
Are you?
I'm not gonna lie to you. It
You
is
see
kind of
what Black conservative has to say here.
uncomfortable seeing Lindsey Graham be so giddy.
Hey, it is, bro. Hey, Lindsey Graham, this guy right here, he's just happy to be there, bro. I don't think he understands what's going on. He's just happy to be there next to Trump. You see Behu smile. He's sitting there off to the side. Lindsey Graham is just happy to be there. That's all.
It low-key creeps me out. Like,
Yeah, but it kind of does, though, man. He's just sitting there smiling. All right, so let's fast forward this and see what the View has to say, I guess.
Time for the count.
Here we go. Okay, well, this game looks kind of fun, I guess. I don't know. Let's skip that. All right.
So, wow.
Here we go. Here we go. Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi!
Perhaps no one is going to miss a tyrant like Maduro. Is this a
Nobody's going to miss a tyrant. He's definitely a tyrant, Whoopi. Definitely a tyrant.
legal thing? I mean, who voted for this? Who said, hey, yeah, go on in?
I voted for this. Right here, Whoopi. I voted for this! Exactly what I voted for! Peace through strength. It's about time we get something done. I voted for this whoopee, and I'm happy it's happening. So are the Venezuelan people, and you should be happy for them, whoopee. Come on, whoopee.
Here and do this, because originally, wasn't it, he was concerned about the drugs coming in and out, and yet he
Yeah, the drugs.
pardoned like a giant
kingpin,
kingpin. And so what is this all about?
I can speak to the legal.
Yeah, I've been hearing that a lot too. Well, Trump pardoned a kingpin. I don't know the facts on that, but if Trump did pardon him, I'm pretty sure it was probably for a good reason. Maybe fabricated evidence. I don't know. I don't know enough about that situation to talk about it. But obviously there was a reason why this guy was pardoned. I don't know why. I don't know about it, guys. Maybe if I digged in too deeper, I can come up with an answer for you if I knew the whole entire situation, which I don't. Actually, this is the first time I'm even hearing about it. Well, not the very first time, but like the first time I keep hearing about it. Well, if Trump cares about drugs, why did he pardon this guy? I don't know anything about it. First time I'm hearing about it. But Trump does care about drugs being brought into the United States and killing Americans. And how do I know that? I know that because Trump was blowing up those boats for a reason. If he didn't care, why not just let the boats come through? You know what I mean? So there's something there that I'm sure people who know more about it can answer that question very easily. I just don't know enough about it. I barely know anything about that situation. But it seems like people on the left do throw that up a lot. That I've been hearing around. Well, Trump cares about drugs. Why did he pardon this guy? Well, he does care about drugs because he was blowing up the boats that were actually bringing the drugs over to America. If Trump didn't care about drugs, he wouldn't have destroyed the boats. Common sense.
Part of it, I think Anna can certainly speak to the geopolitics of it all, but it's not legal to do this.
No. I can't believe I'm about to say this, but I actually agree with this girl, man. I don't know. Did the View get flipped or something? Yeah, there is nothing illegal about what Trump did. Nothing whatsoever. If Democrats try to take this to court and try to get Trump impeached, it's just going to be a waste of time, just like last time. We all know Trump's not getting impeached for nothing. He didn't do anything wrong. But leave it up to the Democrats to try to impeach Trump on anything. I mean, Democrats are so crazy that they would try to impeach Trump for leaving the toilet seat up, you know? That's how crazy and delusional some Democrats are. But for her to say he didn't do anything wrong, that's actually right. He didn't do anything. Trump didn't do anything wrong with going to get this guy.
Tell people why not.
Well, it's not legal because it violates international law, right? And this sort of represents this new...
Wait, what she say is not legal because of what? I might have spoke too soon. Sorry, I was backtracking here.
Kingpin, Kingpin. And so what is this all about?
I can speak to the legal part of it. I think Anna can certainly speak to the geopolitics of it all, but it's not legal to do this.
It's not legal. Oh, she said it's not legal. I thought she said it's not illegal. So okay, well, I just kind of ate my words right there. I guess I need to listen before jumping ahead. Yeah, these guys have nothing inside their heads. It's not legal. It is legal. This is 100% legal. Trump, oh my gosh. People who don't know the Constitution frustrate me so bad because they just make up their own rules and what they think is legal and not legal. Trump is well in his constitutional rights, man, to do what he did. Nothing about what Trump did is illegal. 100% legal. This is why you shouldn't watch The View, man. It's just, they dumb you down. They really do. They think their audience is dumb. And some of their audience who watch The View actually probably are dumb. Because they sit there and claps like seals. Oh, you said something that wasn't really smart, didn't make any sense, but I agree with you anyway. I mean, get out of here, bro. She don't know what she's talking about whatsoever. These, oh man, okay.
It tells people why not.
Well, it's not legal because it violates international law.
It violates international law. It's not legal because it violates international law. Well, whose international law? Other countries' national law? Our international law? There's a reason why America is the, how do I put this into words, is the number one toughest country, is the best country, is military, has the most power ever. Listen, we're America, bro. Other countries ain't gonna do anything without us. And international law, not quite sure. If I'm being honest, I'm not quite sure what the international law is, but we're the most powerfulest country in the nation. Pretty much, by me saying that, I'm saying, like, right. I honestly, I don't even know how to answer that question. It violated international law. All I'm thinking is, really, we kind of are the international law, right? We're the most powerfulest country, bro. If we want to go get a president for whatever reason, that's what we will do. And it's not breaking any international laws at all. These women are crazy, guys. I can't really defend the international law part. I mean, I can, but I can't because I don't really know that much about international law. But listen, all I know is that America is the top tier country. So our other allies, right, from other countries, they're going to go along with whatever. I mean, we kind of set the standards. So yeah, she's just crazy.
Law, right? And this sort of represents this new.
These people pretend. I just
Yeah,
love
let's hear from a black conservative who even thinks they're crazy, which they are crazy.
these people pretend like international law is really a thing. International.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. He knows more about the international law stuff. He's about to break it down for us, guys.
Law only applies to countries less powerful than the United
Yeah. But he said only less power. He made the same point I just made.
States. That's
Yeah,
it. It
man.
doesn't apply to us. Okay.
It doesn't apply to us. Listen, we're the top dog. All right.
We are the judge. We are.
Yeah. So basically, he's just recruiting everything I said. So I'm gonna skip ahead. I encourage you guys to go check out his channel. Also, he ain't got that many subscribers, you know, but he makes good content. Let's go ahead and go up to the view.
I mean, I've never seen it before. For the president of the United States to kill, I believe he killed over there. The U.S. government killed over 100 people, including civilians and military, in Venezuela during this kidnapping.
Whoa. Where is the evidence for that? Okay, she's just like rooting off reports. She's just making stuff up to try to make seem what Trump did was a bad thing. To my knowledge, guys, there has not been one Venezuela citizen that has been hurt in this. Was there military Venezuelans? Sure, but they was working for the guy, right? They was trying to protect him, probably. But those are just reports right now. Nothing she's saying has actually been factual or provided as evidence that 100 civilians died in this. She's just reading off reports that she probably gotten from other people. Nothing she's saying is actual factual. She's just kind of making stuff up to try to make a point. And once again, if you got to lie to make your point, you have no point at all.
Capture, and international law doesn't allow it unless unless Congress declares war, and Congress did not do that. So this country
She don't know anything about the Constitution.
was founded on the premise of the balance of power, right? So you have checks and balances. So you have
Trump never declared war on any country, so I don't know why she's even talking about this again. She does not know what she's talking about.
Co-equal powers that co-equal branches of power. So you have the judicial branch, and then you have the executive branch, which the president is a part of, and then you have, of course, the legislative branch, and that's Congress. And they're supposed to check each other. This president is doing whatever the heck he wants
within the boundaries of the Constitution. He's the president of the United States. Of course, he's going to have certain powers. This is one of them. Everything that Trump does is within the Constitution of the United States, well within the law. The president has certain privileges that an average American citizen does not have because he's the president of the United States.
Without any checks or balances. And I have never in my lifetime seen this type of regime change.
She never in her lifetime, because all the Democrats presidents that they had wouldn't do anything like this, because, you know, they just wouldn't, because they don't have the coolness. But Trump is different. And that's what America needs right now, something different. But he's still working within the boundaries of the Constitution. She has zero idea what she's talking about.
Which is what we just saw work out well for the United States. It just doesn't work. And in my view, this is completely 100% illegal.
I don't know.
Wrong. Survey says she's wrong. Like they're always wrong on this. Right here. Fast forward, man. They just don't like Trump, so anything that Trump does, they're gonna say, "Well, that's illegal." Apparently, they have a big, huge fight on here, so we're just gonna stick to the View thing part of it.
Donald Trump doesn't give a damn about the Venezuelan people. If
Trump doesn't give a damn about the Venezuelan people, yet he just went into their country and took down their dictator, their communist leader, and the Venezuelan people are really happy about it. But yet he doesn't care about the Venezuelan people? Okay.
he did, he wouldn't be taking away temporary protective status from 600,000. He wouldn't be arresting
temporary status from 600,000 people. I don't know. What's he talking about? Like the illegals? Yeah. If you're here illegally, you got to go. You have to be an American citizen to live here. Now, if you're just coming here for like vacation or whatever, yeah. But the reason why he ended those was because people were overstaying their visas, right? And so basically they were just living here and not going back to their own country after that. So yeah, you have to get the illegals out. We only want people who want to be in this country. We only want people who came into this country legally, not illegally, right? Because if you're crossing the border illegally, you are a criminal. You did break the law. There's no other way around it. So every single illegal person that we have, whether or not, well, that's different. But if you're just coming over here so you can live in America, you broke the law once you cross that border illegally. There are people from other countries who have done it the right way. That's all we're asking. Come, if you want to come to America, go through the legal system. Yeah, it may be a process, but it's going to be well worth it. And it's worth the wait. You're just going to have to wait. Okay, it may be a long process, but you have to wait. Just like the other millions of people from other countries that came here legally, and they worked their butt off to become a United States American citizen. Right? Those are the people who we want. People who are actually going to abide by the law, and people who want to be here and want a better life. And that's all fine and dandy. Just don't come here illegally. Okay? If we let anybody cross that border illegally, what's stopping terrorists from just acting like a civilian just coming across the border? Nothing. It's basically an invite to your enemies. Hey, we have anybody can come over to our country. We don't care who you are, where you're from, you know. So it's just ridiculous. Of course he ended those. Of course they were overstaying their visa, and it's time for you to go back to your country. If you want to be an American citizen, go, like other immigrants have and go through the legal process. It's a slap to the face to the immigrants that actually came here and did the legal process, because it took them so long and so much money, but they actually did it. Right now they're officially an American citizen. So it's a slap in the face that those people put in all that work to become an American citizen. Meanwhile, you got criminals that are just crossing the border, and we're supposed to say, oh, you're an American citizen now just because you came over. Yeah, it's a slap in the face of those people who actually took the time to do it the right way. And that's all we want. We want immigrants to come here and being Americans, but you have to do it the right way. We don't want any illegals over in our country. Okay? Because if you're illegal, you don't pay taxes. You get paid underneath the table. You probably work less than an American citizen would, and that's taking a job from an American citizen. That's taking food off their family's plate, money from their pockets, because most of these immigrants, they'll work for chump change. And they don't pay any taxes. So they get to pocket all that money in their pocket. Unlike American citizen, where we have to pay taxes, federal taxes, income taxes, and all these other stupid, needless taxes just so the government can have more money, in my opinion. But Trump is supposed to get rid of the income tax. But I'm getting off script here, so I guess I'll just go ahead and play it now. But you guys get the point.
Venezuelans that are seeking asylum here, he wouldn't be maligning the entire community and sending hundreds of Venezuelans to a hellhole prison in El Salvador. I don't think
these are criminals. I'm sorry. Are we supposed to? I already went over this. Are we supposed to roll out the red carpet for criminals? When you cross the border illegally, you are a criminal. You're breaking our law. And yeah, of course he sent these criminals to prison. Does that not make sense? They're criminals. Of course he's going to send them to prison. Man, I tell you, man, these ladies right here, they have zero brains. Of course, you're a criminal. You're going to prison. What is this? And that, mind you, all these rich people saying, we need to let all these illegal immigrants. They want to bring in all these immigrants, but they don't want to house any of them. They don't want any of them on their property. Case in point, dang, man, who was that girl? There was the governor of Florida sent a bunch of illegal immigrants to Martha Stewart's house, right? And they was all out in her yard, and she made them all leave by the police. So she don't even. So I mean, they're just a bunch of hypocrites, right? They want illegals to come in, but they don't want illegals anywhere near their house, or they're not going to house these people. Where are these people going to live? Out in the middle of the street? Or no, they're just going to take over American homes, right? But not the rich and powerful. As long as because they don't want illegals there. Martha's Vineyard, right? She made all those people leave. She was rooting for the top right. Let them in. Let these people in. Blah, blah, blah. But then when these people showed up to her house, for looking for help, she don't want to do anything. She's like, well, get him off my property. I don't want him here. Same thing.
Well, that's enforcing the law. Enforcing the law is not about whether or not you like somebody or you like a group.
Exactly. Forcing the law. Trump was forcing the law. And she's like, oh, I can't believe Trump sent these criminals to prison. Where else would these go? Of course. Yeah, and by the way, too, the majority of illegal criminals, immigrants that come here to this country, they do get sent to prison, but they're only there temporarily. It's only so we can get them back to their country, right? Unless there's charges, crimes that they committed here. But really, Trump could charge them for a crime as soon as they cross the border illegally. But instead, he's rounding up these illegal immigrants and putting them into prison until, we can get them back home by plane. And that's what's been going on. It's not like they're staying there for years on end. You know what I mean? It's only temporary, but the ones that not only have already broken a crime by crossing the border illegally, but when they're in our country and they do a crime, then yeah, they're going to stay here in America. They're not going to get sent back home to their country. They're going to face punishment for the crime that they committed. I mean, it's like these women on The View, they live in La La Land.
With people, they're coming here illegally, right? And enforcing immigration law, that has nothing to do with whether or not you like them personally or whether you like them as a group.
Exactly. Nothing personal. Let's skip ahead here and watch more of The View talk about what they don't know what they're talking about.
400 tons of cocaine into the United States. I think this is a lot about Donald
No, no, what she's talking about now.
Trump's ego. I think he thought it was going to be easier to get rid of Maduro. I don't know that he thought it was going to take 4.5 months and 1/4 of the Navy arsenal. And
yeah, well, it took a long time because of planning, strategy. Thank goodness these women are not like the head of anything in our government, because they don't know about planning. They don't know about strategy. Of course, it's going to take some time to come up with this epic plan that was an epic plan and strategy. These things, you got to plan them out. Of course, it's going to take like 4 months. It could have took longer, but they came up with a plan, executed the plan, and it was a good plan, and it was well executed. That takes planning and strategy. That's just not something, hey, let's go get this president. Let's just go right now. Or, on a random day. Like, no, that's something you plan for. And it was well executed.
a cost of over $1 billion to do this. I don't think this is regime change, because the regime is still there. He got rid of the head. He got rid of the titular head, which is Maduro, and it's the biggest trophy there is. But
the
all
vice
of
president is still there.
And the vice
president is now president.
Well, I refuse to.
This is the president right here, guys. The new president. Look at him, man.
Call her either.
She's not. She's in way over her head.
As you see, Maduro, so the U.S. government, under Biden and under Trump, have said they don't recognize Maduro as the legitimate president of the United States because he stole the elections.
No, he probably did steal the elections. Wouldn't put it past this guy. He's a communist and dictator. Yeah, that stuff happens. They act like every single election in the world is fair. Not really, guys. Not really.
Right. And so if we don't recognize him as president, how in the hell can
especially in communist countries,
turn around and recognize his vice president as vice president and now interim president?
Do you think it's about the oil?
I think it's about the oil. Your question, who
again, oil is just like a confirmation prize.
voted for this? The people in South Florida, the Venezuelan community, the Cuban American
Yeah,
community.
look how happy they are.
The Nicaraguan American community voted for this. And for us, this is a very, very happy day when we see a dictator who has been part of oppressing and abusing the Venezuelan people for
Of course, this is a good thing.
25 years. When we see him in handcuffs and held to some sort of accountability, it brought me into tears. It brought me great joy. And
then you should be happy.
I live in South Florida.
But are you okay with the way that it was done?
But
Are you okay with the way? Yes, absolutely, 100%. There's no other way to do it. Of course, it was the perfect way to do it.
Okay, I think both things can be true. Okay. I think you can criticize and ask questions and have.
No, you can't criticize this whatsoever because it was well executed. It was a good plan. I love the way they did it. Silence, didn't let nobody knew what was. Everybody was paying attention to the right hand. Meanwhile, the left hand was over here planning. You know what I mean? It was a good strategy by the Trump administration.
Concerns about the way it was done and what this means in the future.
Right.
And I think you can still celebrate that this murderous, corrupt, sadistic son of a bitch is out of Venezuela. Because he has.
No, there goes the SEALs. Actually clapping for a good thing this time. As far as I think there's 8 million Venezuelan exiles all over the world. People have fled from this man's tyrannical rule. So
For me, I am very
They might fire her.
disturbed by Donald Trump's
Probably not though, because she's still a lefty.
words about the opposition leader who legitimately won the elections that
Nah, probably didn't.
Maduro stole. He said that her party, won the election. She said she, Maria Corina Machado, has no respect or support of the Venezuelan people. She won the elections against this dictator by 70% of the vote.
This is
But
important.
she didn't win anything. Her party won. Okay.
Yeah, her party won. I'm not quite sure. I think I'm gonna end the video right there, though. I think I've heard all I want to from The View. I don't know. They're still going on, though. Here, let's just skip ahead and hear more from The View. Whoa, wait. All right.
Well, said two things can be true at once. I am celebrating that Nicolas Maduro is out of power. This is a man who has starved, impoverished, jailed his opponents. He is a bad man and a dictator.
He is.
But I have two key things that stand out to me.
Of course you do. Of course she does.
The lack of congressional authority is incredibly important. There's a lot.
Don't need it! Don't need it! Oh no, how many times I gotta go over this? I'm starting to repeat myself. So I'm not gonna dig into it, but you guys already know the truth. Right.
Long history in this country, to be clear. Libya, Iraq,
They don't know the Constitution. They don't know the Constitution.
Afghanistan, where we've had very fragile congressional
Panama,
authority to
maybe?
go in.
Yeah.
But what I care about is what happens tomorrow, because I saw the news and like
What about what happens tomorrow? I don't know what she means by that. What happens tomorrow? Tomorrow's tomorrow. Today's today. Yesterday was yesterday.
and I was celebrating. I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't know if I would see the day that Maduro's out of power.
Yeah, you should.
But the obvious solution here would be the opposition leader, Machado, who has 70% approval and got
Now they're just talking about who should take over Venezuela.
70% of the vote.
And won a
should be-
Nobel Prize,
well,
correct?
Actually, the
It's gonna be somebody who is working with the Trump administration, right? Somebody who won't try to send drugs over to America, and somebody who's not a dictator and communist.
stand-in candidate.
And Trump's going to make sure that happens because he does care about the Venezuelan people. That's why he said we're running it until, there's a peaceful transfer of power back for the Venezuelan people. If he didn't care, if Trump didn't care about the Venezuelan people, then why would he even say that, right? Why would he say we're going to run things until there's a peaceful transfer of power to somebody who can actually run it? You know what I mean? He'd just be like, well, the Venezuelan people are on their own. We're not going to run the country, you know what I mean? So that also proves another point that they tried to make, but again, they have 0 points to make anyway.
Got 70% of the vote, won a Nobel Peace Prize. This is the person who should stand elections, and the U.S. is only...
I don't know about that, but I think I'm going to end the video right there, guys. Yeah, they just go on, and my brain really can't take too much of the view. That's going to be the end of the video. I'll see you guys in the next one.